This is the first video in a series about calibration and sound check. In this we'll go over the basics of calibration. So why do we calibrate at all? We need to account for the characteristics of each piece in the measurement chain. For example, if we're measuring a speaker, we don't want to include the response of the microphone that we use to record it. We could be using different units for our inputs or outputs. We could have some calibrated to reference 1 Pascal, some referencing SPL. Transducers can also drift over time, and that's something that we need to keep track of as well. One question we often get is how often to calibrate. And unfortunately the answer is always, it depends. The device type, the environment you're working in, your components, your measurement accuracy, all weigh into how often you need to calibrate your own devices. As a rule of thumb, electronics such as amplifiers and acquisition cards and interfaces tend to be very stable. On the other hand, transducers such as microphones and speakers are not very stable. Now let's look at calibration as it pertains to sound check. Calibration, like hardware, is a global setting. All sequences will use the same calibration configuration. You can have as many stored devices or signal paths as needed. System calibration references system hardware for audio interface channels. The calibration editor is a database of device data and configurations. It links the calibration data to the specific hardware channel in use. It generates calibration curves and values and stores these in the memory list. This is where physical units in their dB reference are set. You can also import custom calibration curves. You can configure the gain, and on specific lists in hardware devices, you can enable auto read. Here's the basic view of system calibration in SoundCheck. At the top is the input signal path. This is what you'll be pointing to when you're actually writing your sequence. In the bottom right is the hardware input channel. This looks at your system hardware and displays all available inputs or outputs. And finally on the left, we have the calibrated input device. This carries all calibration data for your specific device. At the top, we have input and output tabs that will toggle from our input to our output. They both have the same parameters. You can see by changing the output signal path, it will show what calibrated output device is associated with it. So by changing to amp channel 1, it shows my amp connect calibrated device. One thing to note is the direct in and out signal paths. These are Unity Cal read-only paths that cannot be adjusted. For naming, we have some recommended best practices. The signal path is usually a generic name that will indicate the type of device being used. The calibrated device is where it becomes more specific. You could label it SCM3 with the serial number to help keep track of multiple devices. The hardware channel is the physical connection that's actually being used. This makes things easier when sharing sequences or using different device configurations. Included in a basic SoundCheck installation are some common signal path names. If you want to add more, you can click the Add button under Input Signal Path. It'll prompt you to write a new name and then bring you to that path. The input channel and the calibrated input device are blank. We can't add a hardware input channel from this screen. It would have to be done in system hardware, so we'll just select Input 1. But if we're adding a new calibrated device as well, we can now click Add here. In the next video, we'll look at the advanced view of the calibration editor and all adjustable parameters.